Hey there, this is Niels Beardfoot, and today we are crafting a tombstone bag from leather. You want to print and cut your pattern. We got some sewing holes here, some round holes and an opening, at least, for the back. For leather we're using 2.5mm or 6-ounce wedge tanned leather, as we do with most projects. Transfer the pattern on the leather and start cutting everything out. With the beveler we bevel all the edges, but on the front and on the back pieces, not the outer edges. Once cut out, we can moisten our leather from both sides completely. Recently I made my own leather stamp, and this one came out quite nice, and I use it to go all along the edges and give everything a quite rough look. Even more rough is this stone, not made by myself, but just found outside, and just hammer it all into the leather. We also need some sewing holes as well as round holes for rivets, and we punch these. For the letters I use the laser, since I do not own any letter stamps yet. For dyeing I like to use my trusty airbrush, and I start with the teal as base coat. Next I go with black all along the edges, and then in a quite low angle all over the piece to create shadows. To finish it all up, I like to use some resist to protect the leather as well as the dye. You also can put it on the flash side as well as the edges and burnish it there. But note that on the front and the back piece you don't want to burnish the outer edges. I forgot to thin out the leather on the flash side a little bit on certain pieces, so I do this actually now here with a groove cutter to get some folding lines. To make the nameplate pop a little bit more, I put some scratch leather underneath it so it gets pressed a little bit more out. Then we can start sewing everything together. As a little addition, I put this bone piece here on the upper side in and sew it on later. Remember that I told you should not bevel and burnish the outer edge of the front and back piece? Well, I did that already, but I actually should have done it only now, so I have to grind it a little bit down, re-dye it and burnish it afterwards. This way the edge looks almost as it was one piece. When sewing together these two pieces, note that there's one hole here that is not sewn, and there's on the upper piece there's a place that has no sewing holes, and this is wanted. To get this base piece into shape, it's recommended to moisten it first and then use a bone folder to strengthen these folding lines into the correct way and then sew the edges together. Now these are the big pieces that we have, and we can start now to assemble the whole thing. And we start with the front and sew on the side just like shown here. Once you've managed to learn the art of slapping the leather in the correct way, this is quite easy. But for everybody else, note that the first piece you sewed on top of the front and this one next here is sewed behind it. To give ourselves an easier time putting on the other pieces, moisten the whole thing completely for around a minute. Take it out, let it set for around 30 minutes and then start bring it into the shape that you want. And this does not need to be perfectly now, just the rough shape is completely fine. Sewing or slapping on this last part is definitely the hardest. So start with the very baseline, then the sides, and then work yourself up to the top. In the end, you will only have to put your hand on the inside and you can't really see much. So what I like to do is put my needle from the top side in and then go with the hand on the inside and to this needle and be guided by it through the hole. And this last step, if the shape is not as perfect as you want it right now, you can re-moisten everything and do exactly that. Definitely make sure here that your tombstone has a flat stand. And this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. You get the pattern as well as all my other patterns in the shop in the link down below, and see you guys next time. Have a great day.